Hi students, welcome to videos of Engineering Thermodynamics Regulation 2017 for Anna University syllabus. This is for third semester second year mechanical engineering students, and successfully I have launched 53 videos for first and third unit, and now I am going to start the second unit, and this is my first video for second unit, which covers the topic of introduction to second law of thermodynamics. So as we have already discussed for first unit of what is the syllabus and what is its outcome and the objectives to be done, here is I am showing the syllabus which covers three topics. First topic covers about second law of thermodynamics. Second topic is about entropy, and the third unit is talks about available and non-available energies and application of these concepts to first law and second law to find out the efficiency of various open and closed systems. The course outcome for second unit is to formulate second law of thermodynamics for reversible and irreversible process, and to achieve this outcome the objectives are to define the fundamental concepts of second law of thermodynamics, heat engines, Carnot cycles, and to differentiate reversible and irreversible processes, and learning very deep about entropy, tedious equations, clashes, inequality theorem, and to develop the energy balance and entropy generation equations for closed and open systems and their solutions. Okay. So in the first unit we discussed and learnt about what is zeroth law of thermodynamics and first law of thermodynamics. Then what is the need for the second law? Okay, why it comes, how it created, how this second law is generated. The reason behind is any system, any findings after it would have been having some limitation. Like that, here first law of thermodynamics has its own limitations, and that was overcame and fulfilled by second law of thermodynamics. The limitations is about first law indicates there is a possibility of transfer from heat energy to work energy, right? So transformation between the various forms of energies is involved in the systems that we know very well, but it does not provide the information regarding the feasibility of such transformation. Feasibility sense here whether in all sort of systems or having the capability of this changing over. And another one more information which is lacking in first law is regarding the direction of the processes. Direction sense whether the transformation is going to be follow the direction of spontaneous processes or non-spontaneous processes. Here we should know the meaning of spontaneous, which is nothing but the natural movements followed by the substances. Like always water will flow from higher altitude to lower altitude. The temperature or the heat energy will move from higher temperature to lower temperature. Any object which you are having, when you are throwing, even though you are throwing towards the upward direction, it will starts to comes down because of the gravity force, right? So all these actions which does not need any energy input for its movements, and by the God's creation, whatever the motion which is given to various substances are called spontaneous actions. Okay, so this information whether this while transforming the heat energy into work energy during that process, it would be following the spontaneous or non-spontaneous process direction. Okay, so these types of informations are not being given in the first law of thermodynamics. Regarding the feasibility sense, how could possibility of transferring from one form to another form, and regarding the direction or the way or what to tell, the coordination direction is not specified in first law of thermodynamics. And of course it lacks with respect to the possibility of energy conversion and the capability of the system, and whether it is sufficient to predict a system will or will not undergo that particular change. But somehow, however we talk, if a cycle is to be executed, if a reaction is to be taken place which has the transformation from heat energy to work energy, means the first law of thermodynamics is the essential condition. Okay, it is a essential condition, it is a basic required condition, but the information given by the first law of thermodynamics is not adequate to qualitate the process. Okay, so to qualitate means how much efficiently that would be having the output. Okay, with respect to in this preferences, these types of informations were not given in the first law, which was fulfilled and overcome by second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so significance of this new second law of thermodynamics is it is complemented by second law of thermodynamics by giving proper direction about whether the heat and work and vice versa conversion is possible, and types of processing in which the transfer can take place, possibility of direction and amount of conversion is given clearly in second law of thermodynamics. And it also indicates all the heat cannot be converted into work. Okay, so this is this sentence is of course having a numerous or more and more valuable point that I will explain you later, but you keep remember that all the heat whatever which is given to any system could not be converted fully into work. Okay, so heat will only be transferred from higher temperature to lower temperature, and the reverse direction is not possible, and it is whether and also it tells the information about it is possible for energy transfer to proceed along a particular direction or not, and a cycle only can possible only if it satisfies both first law of thermodynamics, first and second law of thermodynamics. And finally we can say that first law is a quantitative statement, whereas second law gives a qualitative statement towards the energy conversion. Right, so here I told already this all heat cannot be converted into work. This slide shows you a very clear picture about why all the heat cannot be or could not be converted into work is here by burning the fuel of petrol or diesel in the automotive engine shown here should be actually converted 100% to work, by which the automobile engine should run for around 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers. Okay, like that amount of fuel is being burnt, but what happens actually is the heat produced or generated by this fuel is about 60% is being wasted by the exhaust gases, and the lubricating oil is taken another percentage of the heat from the fuel which is burning, and the cooling water and large amount of cooling water is being circulated around the engine and as well as all the parts to make it cool, and that also which absorbs the heat liberated by the fuel, and the friction between the various inner parts of the automobile engines also creating creating large and large amount of heat, and that was absorbed by the lubricating oil which is passing through the various parts. Okay, so likewise the fuel, how much amount of heat which is generated by the fuel was wasted in so many ways. Apart from this, you have radiative and all modes of heat losses also present in the engine, you know very well. So thus a clear picture says that you cannot stop the exhaust line, you cannot cheese the exhaust line, without which the engine will not run, and you cannot avoid this lubrication, you cannot avoid the cooling water circulation, friction, of course if it is not there nothing will work. Okay, so all these losses, heat losses also very essential in which gives a important key role in the working of final conversion from heat to work. Although they are considered as a losses, okay, they are also essential part in the final outcome, and thus we are telling that all heat could not be converted into work in any system, not only in automobile, in any system it is not possible. Okay, so reservoir means you know very well, it is a large mass of space, contains large amount of working substance which has the capacity to hold. Okay, so like that here you have source and sink are called thermal energy reservoirs. The reservoirs which are storing the thermal energies. Source means a large body which has a large mass and heat capacity that can reject an unlimited quantity of heat. Okay, by telling this one you come to know whether the best example for source is sun, which it is a large mass having large amount of high heat capacity and can reject an unlimited quantity of heat, okay, without experiencing any appreciable change in the temperature. Right now, sink. If you take sink, okay, a body which has a large mass and heat capacity that can absorb, okay, whatever the heat which is liberated or rejected by the source is being absorbed by the sink, and in that sink also there is no any appreciable change in temperature, and you have the example as atmosphere. Okay, so directly daily what you are viewing outside in your surroundings is sun is continuously rejecting the heat, and our atmosphere outside the home, what is called atmosphere, is continuously absorbing that heat energy without change in its temperature, because their space is enormous, large, they have large mass and large capacity. Like best example of source created by the man, a simple application you can tell, a train which has to continuously move for around 10 hours means a large engine and a cylinder piston arrangement in which you are pouring around 100 or 200 kgs of coal, and it is being burnt, which is giving a large amount of heat capacity and without experiencing any change in its temperature continuously for 10 hours or 20 hours. Sink means the atmosphere. That train is liberating the exhaust gases while moving from one place to another place by the continuous burning of coal inside the engine. So train engine is the source, and our atmosphere or the way in which the train is crossing, that atmosphere is called the sink. Okay, mechanical energy reservoir means the reservoir which is storing the mechanical energy. Here we are meaning mechanical energies means whatever the energy which is converted from the heat energy in the convenient way. If you take for example, after the heat has been converted into power, means that power source, that electrical energy where it is stored in any place in the power plant and the distribution stations, storage stations where it can be stored, means then it is called mechanical energy reservoir. Okay, in your home the best example you can say is the UPS is the best example for mechanical energy reservoir. So furnace is the example for thermal energy reservoir, and it is not the example for mechanical energy reservoir. And raised weight, running fire, flywheel, compressed springs are the examples for storing the potential energy. And thanks for patient listening. Let me continue in the next video. I am Dr. Suja signing off. Thank you.